absolutely superb. And you know, here we were sort of February, March time when we were getting all that rain, came in, and literally it was looking like a swamp, along with many other pitches, shall we say. But at the moment it looks in fine fettle, and next week the groundspeople are actually in on the surface to actually hopefully get it to where it needs to be for the start of next year. So as I say, let's move on now to getting forward for next year. A review really of this year. We finished mid-table. Was it creditable? Could we have pushed on? You know, I think realistically, had we have said right from day one that we were going to finish around about top 10, we'd have probably taken that. Make no bones about it, we're a small club in a you know, a small fish in a very, very big pond. And as in the Premiership, it tends to be the big fish tend to swim to the top and gobble up the small fish. Luckily, you know, we take our fair share of minnows along the way, and we've taken the odd big scalp as well to make sure that we've survived. Moving on to next year, as I said, most who are connected with the club have probably seen the Twitter feeds that come out yesterday with regard to the new division at Step 3 that will take place next season. And judging by the teams that have now been allocated to the division that we will find ourselves in next year, will be a shift. But I would say probably 70 to 75% of those games next year are within an hour of where we're situated here. So travelling wise next year for players, helpers, supporters, committee people, you know, it's going to be a lot easier on the time aspect for you to actually commit your time to play, support, and help you know, get those games played and hopefully won. And from experience, when we were in the southern section of the Step 3 level about 5-6 years ago now, the footballing side of it we found was probably a lot easier than the northern side of it. So whilst I would say the hospitality at the northern level has been far superior probably to the southern level, we're going to find next year hopefully the football to be an area that I feel that we can probably strongly compete with next year. So hopefully Jimmy, who I've sat down with already and discussed what we're looking at for next year, is although he's not here tonight due to his wife arranging something very late for him, but he's certainly got his eyes fixed on some scalps to take next year. And in our last season within the Southern League, we missed out on the playoffs on the last game of the season. I think it was by 1 point. Had we won on the last game of the season instead of drawing, would have been in the playoffs. As it happened, the team that got in and snuck over won the playoffs easily and went on to be successful in the Southern Premier. The Southern section of the conference for several years. Anyway, enough waffle from me. Let's get on to these presentations tonight. Players, as I say, you know, you commit yourselves to enjoy a game of football. You work hard, you play hard. Some score goals, some make great tackles, some work and keep motivating the rest of the side. And it's all about two things. One, for enjoyment first and foremost for all of you. And secondly, you know, getting on and winning a victory on a football field for the supporters and the people that put the work in around those games. So tonight, as we move in now to our presentation of awards, the first award that we'd like to present tonight is the top goal scorer for Barwell FC, 2017-2018 season. Newly arrived at the club during the close season, stepped up several levels. I think he was at step 6 last year, so he stepped up 3 levels in grades of football and has won our goal of the season with 20 goals. Goals of the season this year with 20 goals, Matty Stenson.
Hello, Matthew. Winner, first thing he's ever won.
To get in every way, guiders. Well done, Matt.
Well done, Matty.
We move on now to our supporters player of the season. This was voted on by obviously the people that come and watch you week in and week out, and unfortunately a hardy set of supporters that would normally be here tonight are again sunning themselves in the Algarves, I'm told, at the moment. A good crowd of them. But the supporters player of the year this year by unanimous vote was a veteran to football, an excellent footballer, Craig Stanley.
Thank you. Where's our goalie?
The next one for me is, I think, an accolade really that every player tries to strive for, and when he's actually within his boundaries of his teammates, his squad of 17, 18, you know, they're looking to look for the best performances of a consistent player year in and year out. So when there's 11, 12 or 11 players on the pitch, hopefully most of the time with Barwell, but there are times that it wasn't that. You know, they're looking for the guy that galvanises, and again, this guy has played at a very, very high level, and it's certainly shown in the last 2 seasons. He's been with us. This year's supporters player of the year is again Craig Stanley. Players player, sorry, my apologies. Players player. I ain't got my glasses on.
Cool. See his teeth this time.
So I think under this one. Right, we have normally Merv Nash, one of our committee lads, presents the goal of the season. So again, we've seen some great strikes over the season by our team, and unfortunately, or fortunately for Merv, he's sunning himself in Tenerife at the moment. So again, not here tonight. So on behalf of Merv, Simon Matheson of Arriva Travel, who supports us, supports you home and away, along with little Joe there, comes along every game. He's presenting on Merv's behalf tonight. So over to you, Simon.
Okay, thanks, Dave. So back at the end of November, we went up to the north, where we're not going anymore so much. It was a very good game. We got into injury time and we fell behind due to a blatantly dubious penalty, and we were pretty despondent. But right at the end, up stepped Matthew Stenson with an equaliser at Ashton United, and that's this year's Merv's goal of the season.
For those who weren't at that Ashton game, they were actually down to 9 men for about the last 10-15 minutes of the game. So they went ahead on 93 minutes with 9 men, and we're thinking, OMG. But then he popped up and got his equaliser, so he saved us our blushes on the day. Right. 2 awards we'll make before the Managers' Awards, if we may please. We've got a Clubman Award, which is voted on by the officials of Barwell FC on behalf of their various committee members that you know, undertake tasks and helpers that undertake tasks week in and week out. And there's one guy this year, along with his compatriot, one except, but one guy that has done a lot of work, and I can assure you a lot of work around the pitch this year to get these games played. Unfortunately, again, he ships off, I think, tomorrow morning. Is it tomorrow or whenever he flies off tomorrow? But he's not here, I understand, at the moment. But the award tonight, this is for the Clubman's Award, is going to go to Dave Hubbard. He's probably on the pitch at the moment, yeah. So well done to Dave. On behalf of myself, a Chairman's Award. It's an award I make each year. Again, I look round and various people. We all do great amounts of work off the field. We have a lot of very unsung heroes within this football club. But to me, this season, you know, we got through into a position one stage where a particular officer stood down. He got promotion at work, at a workplace, so he moved on to to better himself, and is doing exceptionally well in what he's doing. And then up popped a lad to pop into his place with no experience of any media work. And my Chairman's Award this year goes to Luke Pawley.
Well,
Do a selfie. Again, before we go to the final two presentations here, and Guy to have his 10-15 minutes on the mic. Here's Liam Cahill. He's forgot it's Saturday.
Oh, you forgot to take your helmet off. You've got to take your helmet off.
Again, this football club would not survive, unfortunately, due to the amount of spectators that we get through the ground. But we have a great deal of sponsors that have supported this club for many years, and I'd like to personally thank all those sponsors for what they do for us. And I'm pleased to announce that next year I've managed to negotiate with a particular company a significant increase in their sponsorship with Nationwide Windows for next season, and I'm very pleased with what they've done. And all the sponsors of matches and also programme sponsors that happen during the season. Again, a lot of people don't see the work that goes on behind the scenes to raise the funds needed to compete at this level. But I'd personally like to thank all those people involved. And if I could ask you please just to give a round of applause, because I know some of them are in the room tonight. Once again, thank you. Right, Guy, on to, do you want to make these announcements for these awards?
I'm not really prepared, to be honest. But, first of all, Jimmy's away, I think, where's he, Greece, Cyprus? He sends his apologies. He's very busy at work at the moment. It's been a long season. His wife just sort of landed on him last minute, a holiday. So there you go. So he's left me to it. So normally we have some fun and games, but we've got a race night on this year. Just a couple of bits, really. It's been a long year. It's been a very long season. There's been a lot of changes through the year. Some new faces to the door as well. We've got Eric Percival, Jake Whitmore, old Spotty here at the front, Matt Stenson. Jake, a lot of new lads to the door, and I think we've got the makings of a really good side at the moment. We've got real good camaraderie in the dressing room, some old school boys around as well at the same time. And with the league changing, I expect to do decent things next year as long as we keep the lads. I think pretty much most of them are committed to stay. No doubt one or two, an extra couple of quid here, there and more. We'll talk to the chairman about that one. But but it's been all round pretty successful. It's a shame at the end. I thought we could have probably, if we'd had last 8 games, if we'd have stepped up, we probably could have had a little go at the playoffs. But hey ho, we'll have a go next year. So we've got a couple of awards here. First one is Young Player of the Year. Now this lad, he came to the club, couldn't speak, had a very funny haircut. Didn't know anyone, pretty poor actually he was. All he had was a bit of speed. We got into him, we taught him how to spell, we taught him how to trap a football, and all of a sudden he came out of his shell. And we started him around in different positions, up front, on the wing, predominantly as a right back. But as the season's gone on, he's excelled, he's come out of his shell, and it's been a credit to us. And if you look at the middle part of the season, I think he got man of the match, something like 8 or 9 games out of 10. So he was, he really stepped up, and he had a fantastic season overall because he stepped out of the pro game, and that lad is Jake Whitmore.
Number 2.
Okay. Manager's player. This was predominantly out of 3 lads who really have excelled this year. See, Craig Stanley's picked up, quite rightly, all the awards for players player and supporters player. Matt Stenson has he stepped up really well. I thought he was just a lanky little fast lad that was no good at football, but actually he's really shocked me. He's a thick-skinned guy and he's done excellent. But this lad here, as the season's gone on, he stepped out the pro game as well. It's very difficult, that is, and this was a real tight one between 2 lads, to be honest. Craig, has been absolutely superb all season, Craig Stanley, and he never puts a foot wrong. But you expect that. You expect that from Craig all the time. But this lad, if you look at his games and you think about when has he made a mistake, very rarely. He's had to play centre half. He's had to play right back. He's played right side midfield. He's had some illness as well this year, and in the dressing room he's stepped up. He's voiced his opinion. He's very mature with that, and he's got a really, really good future ahead of him. And that boy is Elliot Percival. Bought his girlfriend. Just before I hand you back to Dave, again, I thank all you guys for your support. It's there's a lot of hard work that goes on behind the scenes. We have got a goalkeeper somewhere that has got some flowers for you ladies that we normally do, but I haven't got a clue where he is. He's outside. So yes, you girls behind the scenes, you do a lot of work. You're unsung heroes. So we have got some flowers. So I haven't got a clue where. Here he is. Here's the man of the moment. There he is. Yes, it's just from me and Jimmy. Thank you very much for your support, and we look forward to seeing you next year.